Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of our Let's Build Elementia series. As mentioned last time, this is a two-parter, the second part of the two-parter, where we work on the front entrance of the park, finally. So we're actually starting some proper work. Now, last episode, we built kind of this entry area, did a little bit of extra work off camera, like these slabs, but we built the front gate area. You'll notice that I added in some additional stuff up here, which is not a huge amount, but it is kind of important. Some of these cobbled deep slate pillars, these are actually going to be the supports for the letters for the sign, which I've actually already got loaded into the schematic cannon, but you'll have to wait till the end of the episode to see that. So you'll have to stick around for that. Sorry. I want to give a little treat to the people that stick around. That being said, we are going to be working a bit more on getting this expanded out, and hopefully I'm going to try and get the queue building. Well, queue building sounds weird for this. It's more kind of a staging area for the people getting on the boats. So, let us get more started. Oh, I'll grab from this. That's pulverized. See what we can do, shall we? So, as you notice, I've got these little blocks here. These are our centering points that we used from the last episode to kind of center the gate, or the ticketing gates. Turnstiles. That's the word I'm looking for. Silly moth. Wait, didn't I just have pickaxe earlier? Hold on. I swear I just had a pickaxe. Yeah, because it's right there. I don't know where my brain is, clearly. Okay, let me actually do this. I'm going to put this down so that we actually have an idea of where the dock is going to be for the ferries. This is not going to stay this block, don't worry. We'll change it out in a little bit. But let us start continuing our progress. Really don't need it that far back. Down here. Yeah. I'm gonna need a lot more zinc, aren't I? Yeah, I am. Oh boy. I don't know how to do this. Now, you may notice that I haven't talked about getting any of the resources for the schematic cannon. That is because there is so much. I don't have the checklist with me anymore, but there was so much that I actually had to do a lot of mining off camera, which hopefully you're seeing a bit of that footage right now. I had to do a fair bit just because there was so much that I needed to get. So I do apologize for doing that off camera, but trust me, it was probably better to do it off camera. Especially all the mining that I had to do for magma. Oh boy. Not fun. You remember a while back I got a blaze spawner and moved it closer to the portal? Turns out that that's where the magma blocks were that I needed to mine. And there were many, many places there that were not amused with their relocation. So, yeah. Not fun times. But that's all done with. Trying not to get any PTSD from it. I'm joking about that. Not really PTSD or something like that. nearly that traumatizing. Maybe like this? Yeah, I kind of like that. Okay. Now, for the dock, pier, that's the word I'm, or the pier, I'm actually going to be going away from the dark cobble, or the deep slate, because it's the entry into the scales. So we want to balance out all this darker coloration with something lighter. So we're actually going to be using some andesite over here, and then it's going to be diorite for the actual pier. I might actually be changing this somewhere around here into andesite. The color change. I haven't quite figured that part out just yet. Also going to eventually need to start figuring out a buoy design for the entry points. Why did I just do that? No, wrong. Yeah. This. Do I have anything good that I can use? Got some dirt. I can use the dirt. So for the actual queuing, I'm thinking is doing something a bit like this. That's it. Okay. So this is the rough queue idea that I'm thinking of working on. And this is going to be going out into here. And then there's going to be a way around this way. Will be exit point for the two sides of the pier. We need to do a lot more of this. Actually start making the pier itself. Just so we have a rough idea how that's going to look. I am missing a table. Oh no, I have to go and it's over back. Of course it is. Okay. That's a good time for us to work on fencing though. So I will meet you guys over there and we're going to go test out some designs for our signs for our fencing. So I will see you guys in just a moment. So while we're here, I did forget to mention that there was one other big thing that I did off camera, which is that I made this, the loom table. It's just another one of the chipped workbenches, but it's specifically for wool and string and that sort of thing. And I had to make it for the sign for two of the blocks, so I did forget to mention that. So we do have this now. I believe is almost all of the workbench types. Was my inventory the whole time? I know you didn't just hear it, but that was a very heavy sigh that I just did. Oh no. Why did I do that to myself? I'm stupid. I have the stupid. Okay, so now that we know where that is, let us start working on some fence design. This back. So I do remember I made some of the fancier fences. I think I put them over here for testing. Well, if not, I can make some, I suppose. Enough hunger saturation. Really quickly deal with that. There we go. Okay. More apples. Don't need that. So, fence-wise, we have all of these fun things to do. There's actually some interesting looking stuff here that we can play around with too. That's diorite, looks like. What's that made of? Polished. Go ahead and just out of curiosity, take a look and see how that looks. These problems. Eh, maybe something to keep in mind for sure. I'm not sure that that's quite what we're looking for in terms of grow the rest of this here. Let's see. That's the regular designs. I'm trying to not use designs if possible. I want to make it look nice. Probably want to do like a stockade or picket. Let's try the stockade. See how that looks. And for the planks. I do remember I made most of these when I was figuring out the fencing for the factory over that back area. I'm trying to remember which one. I think it was for the cobblestone. Yeah, it was for the cobblestone. I tried a couple different fences just to see what they look like. I do remember that, but I don't remember what they all look like. I do kind of like this birch version. I would love to do. What's this? Oh, I do remember what the horse fence looks like. Yeah, I do remember that now. Oh, I do remember what the gates are. That's not something I want to now. Let's see. Anything else? No, not really. Okay, so let's try. Can I have some spruce somewhere? I think being an operative word. I should really. Oh, please. I'm going to really quickly deal with this. Here we go. Okay. A lot happier with that. Let me see if I can find any spruce nearby area, because I think that might be an acceleration. Now, for the fencing, I don't remember if there is any nearby. Because unfortunately, this is a jungle, so it's going to be a lot of oak and jungle wood. I saw something this way when I was doing some exploration that might be worth. I remember correctly. I might be misremembering. Are those? Okay. I think they're having a bird bath, just in a very strange way. Huh, I've never seen that before. Mentally a new one on me, I'll admit. Of course, I spent a lot of time off camera looking for flax and flax seeds, so that I could make some string for wool. There was flax seed or wild flax back there. Am I? Now I'm just upset at myself. Birch. Like spruce, if possible. Better coloration. I know you won't have anything. Actually, might as well just check. Well, the answer is no, but it wasn't what I was expecting either, for that matter. Huh. I think this is mostly birch. I am here. Oh, hello. That looks like dark oak. Please tell me it is. Please tell me it is. Been really needing to get some for a while. Yes, it is. Good, good. Some saplings, please. Wrong one. Yeah. Good, good. Makes me quite happy because this is indeed one of the trees that I would like to have. Dark oak actually used for some really pretty accents. I say I think. I know that it can be used for pretty accents. It's just... Oh no, there was a sapling that dropped into it, wasn't there? I heard something, and I don't know what it was, and I don't like it. I'm gonna get out of the water now. That's only two, so... Wait, no, there's the third one. And the fourth, yay, okay. That is enough for that. Might as well grab some more the logs while I'm at it. Now, to resume our hunt for... I'm very happy that I made this small discovery. Amazed that I didn't remember this being here. That's more mushroom. I think technically we're in a... Oops. Yeah, okay, it is a dark forest. Yeah, they wouldn't have any spruce and I know I have a nature's compass. I just really don't want to take the time to look up biomes content. I don't think I'm gonna get very far going in that direction. I actually just have to try and do this little exploration another time. I don't want to spend too much time trying to find this. Hey, there's spruce. Oh, we got really lucky. Now I've got some spruce saplings and I've got some dark oak saplings. Fantastic. This is actually starting off great. Let me try and not kill myself on the way down. There we go. No, there you go. Okay, so now that we've got that, let me deposit all this stuff that I somehow picked up. I say somehow, I know exactly how I picked it up, I just was not expecting to pick it up. Fix those. Gonna grab some oatmeal. We're gonna get back. Hijack our free farm. Get it producing juice for us. Ow! Not where I went today. Oh. Does it? Did that not give any? No, I have to go hunt more, don't I? Oh. That's really poor. That sucks. Alright, well, I'll have to go and probably get some more at some point. But let me see. This is even go with. I like the oak, actually. I think it looks a little bit better. Yeah, I think I'll go with the oak, actually. Wasn't expecting, but I do think it looks a little bit nicer. Get more clean, if you. Actually, really should do. Get more empty. Like I'm constantly running. One second. Let me kind of clear out the backpacks. Here we go. Wait, can I not put andesite funnels in here? Huh. Well, no, I feel like I feel like I've put andesite funnels into storage drawers. Am I going? Am I just misremembering? I'm so confused now. Okay. Shut up! I hear you over there. Shut up. I will evict you and give your position to a sheep, so help me. Stop it. Alright, I think that should be enough. Please grab another stack of this, and then head back now that we have realized that the mason table was with us the entire time. 1 second, I'll be back in a moment. Father. Okay, well, we got most of it done. Not quite as much as I would have liked. It will give us a good sense of kind of outline of the building. There we go. That's starting to look kind of nice. Don't need that. And I'd have, yeah, there we go. So let me put this. Yeah, close enough. See what we can do out. Trying to look for a design that I think would work. Yes. Be kind of fun design to do. You kind of want to have one that's got a cracked variant. That way, you fun stuff of there being cracks everywhere. Make it look like it's been worn some. Or, well, not super enthralled with. Let me try these first. See how I like them. See if they look good. Have start point over here. Now, something I do want to point out is that this may not be where this ends up. This may get relocated somewhere closer to that direction. Depending on how That's mostly just for sightline purposes. Maybe. I'm not totally convinced of this one. I'm not totally convinced of it. Let's go and put it in the rest and see how in here. Got plenty of stuff. I can't believe I just did that for the second time in this episode. I'm not sure if I'm impressed or disappointed in myself for that. It's kind of growing on me. I'm still not convinced of it. But if we move the Q building or the a pen, give me a chance to change that flooring if I'm not convinced I like. This in half, so that half of it is that, and then the other one is activate. No, I see. Here. Oh, stop for a second. There it is.
Hello, Joni there? Hello, Joni? Look, I've got an idea.
did I just hear what sounded like merchant? Swear to God, if they're trying to sell me something, I'm gonna kill them. Oh, okay. I know it seemed like really drastic, but I swear I'm haunted by merchants in the game. When I was still trying to get the replay mod to work in the earlier episodes, there was a very strange correlation to when the recording would bug out and when there was a merchant nearby. Despite the fact that apparently the crashing had nothing to do with merchants. But I don't trust them anymore as a result. It's ironic because I actually need to get some stuff to pull from at some point. I know that they do sell sapling. Good way to get certain stuff. So, bring out to the great yonder. Well, I think it's finally time. Time to make the sign. Alright, so, as mentioned before, I did make this sign off camera. See, I've got all kinds of stuff in here. And it should be all ready for install. But there's only one way of really being sure of that, which is to go ahead and make it. So I'm going to start this up and we'll see it in time lapse. And go. Now then, I'm sure some of you noticed that the sign looked a bit off when it was being made. That's because it's not the full sign. See, I kind of lied. Because the schematic cannon won't actually do the full sign. Because the schematic cannon doesn't really like to do fluids. So I had to finish up the sign myself, which results in this. This is the Elementia sign. Now, as you notice, we do have fluids. That is the lava over here in the first E, and some water in this T over here. Now, some of you may be confused as to the sign, and I'll explain that. As you notice, there's four kind of distinct segments, and they represent the four major areas in the park. You have your fire, your air, your water, or sea, depending on where you want to think of it, and your ground. And you'll notice that the ground is kind of split up into two different colors, and that'll be kind of more explained when we get into that area, because ground and earth is a unique section of the park in that it's actually two, hence the two colorations. And the E in the center that you go under when you're leaving is to represent the balance of the four types, hence why you've got all four major colorations. Now, some of you may be looking at the E and wondering how exactly is that realistic? Because, like I mentioned, this is a realistic theme park. It's supposed to be as realistic to a real life as it would be. Well, that's because obviously you wouldn't be having real lava, because it's patented by Aperture Science, as we all know. So, what you would actually be doing is that this would most likely be one of two major things. One, it would be colored water, and by colored I mean you have lighting effects in them. But the way that I actually more think of it would be the second way, which is that it's actually LED screens. So you have an array of LEDs set up in such a way that it creates this lava effect that we see in game. Now, obviously, in game, it's lava. There's no denying that fact. But in real life, it wouldn't be lava. It would be some sort of screen system that, when turned on, looks like that. Now, the sign is not technically complete even now because there still needs to be lighting on it. There is only really three things on the sign that emits light. That's the lava and the two areas that have the magma blocks, which is the L and center E correspondingly. And the rest of it's not really lit up. So that will be occurring later on. That's probably going to be occurring off camera as I try and fiddle around with lighting and get this whole area lit up. But that will... Oh, hey, the grass finally finished. Yay. That will have to unfortunately be happening off camera as I think our time is up. Now, that being said, I know this was a kind of a shorter episode, and I do apologize for that. But I've got kind of a good excuse, kinda. I promise. I had family coming in, and I completely screwed up the timing. I thought that they would be coming in this coming week, and it turns out that they were coming this past week. So I did not have any time to record until literally today, which is Saturday the 12th, which is the day that this video goes out. And I only really had the evening to record this video. So I have had barely any time to record this video, so if it seems kind of short, that's why. And I'm sorry about that, and there's not a whole lot I can do about that without rewinding time. So, yeah. I do apologize for that, though. It's not my intention to shortchange you, especially since we just had a two-parter. And the first part was already pretty long as is. So, hopefully this shorter one kind of adds up to reasonable lengths. Kinda. Again, I am sincerely sorry about that. I do not mean to try and be shortchanging you, but sometimes life gets in the way and stuff happens, and you're not always able to make the full episodes you want to. But I think we made some pretty good progress so far. We've got our wonderful sign, which I'm actually really, really happy that we finally have installed. This is a major. Where did the villagers spawn in? Why? Piss off. I don't want to deal with you. Uh, this. Go away. Stop looking in the camera. It makes me feel weird. Uh, but that. Oh, my ADHD is kicking in hard today. The I am really glad that we got the sign in. It feels more concrete. It feels like we're actually getting somewhere, and this whole entry area feels like it's starting to really come together into a proper entry area. Yes, it is not truly finished. The fencing still needs to get done. I'm aware. There needs to be a roof put on the queue area. I'm aware. This here is, well, for lack of better terminology, a stick of plank floating out in the wind. But it's a start. And that's really what I wanted to accomplish. Because even though I said we would be doing the entryway, I didn't necessarily state we would be finishing the entryway so much as we were making an entryway. And we made one. And it looks, in my opinion, kind of nice. And I hope you think so too. But as always, I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any suggestions for the park, as always, I love to hear them. Please leave them down in the comment section. And make sure if you enjoyed this video to hit that like button. And if you really enjoyed this video and want to see more of the series as it comes out, or are curious about some of my other stuff that I put out on the channel, please make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you get notified every single time that I put a new video out, which I try to do every other week, but sometimes I do more, sometimes I do less, and I do apologize, but when you hit that subscribe button, you'll always be notified when the next one comes out. So, as always, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!